start the Mishnah. Hamakani liishto, one who forewarns his wife, as the Mishnah will give the example in a moment, what he says to her about, sees his wife flirting with a certain person. He says, I don't want you to speak to that man. So that forewarning is called kinui. Stira means, what happens after he forewarns her? She goes and she secludes herself with that man. That's called stira. That's stira. When does she become a suspected adulteress? That the forewarning was done in the presence of two. But let's say now she sequesters herself, and there are no two witnesses. It's either an Eid Echad or he. He says, I know my wife sequestered herself. He goes to Bezdin, my wife sequestered herself. She defied my warning. According to Rabbi Lezer, that's enough. She becomes a sotah. That she's not permitted to him from that point unless she drinks the mei sotah. She undergoes the process of the sotah. Rabbi Shua Ober says no. Mekanu la pishnayim, mashku la pishnayim. Just as you have to have the kinu has to be in the presence of two, the stira also has to be. He says and Eid Echad says it means nothing. She's permitted to him. Okay, it's all based on psukim. But our Mishnah, both Rabbi Lezer and Shua both agree that kinui definitely has to have shnayim. They're only arguing regarding stira, the seclusion. Ketzah Mekanalo, what does he say to her when he forewarns her? Omalo, Ketzah Omalo, Mekanalo, Omalo, Bifnei Shnaim, Al Tedabri Im Ish Ploni. I don't want you speaking to so and so. Because, not because, he's my arch enemy. It's because of the sexual issues. I don't want you speaking to him. Stay away from him. V'dibri imo, and she defied him, she did speak to him. She's still permitted. Let's see, she's a wife of a Kohen. She's permitted eating truma. She's permitted to have relations with her husband, even though she didn't listen to him. What about nichtus imo lebeis haseser? Let's say she secluded herself, and she was secluded long enough that they could have had relations. So Rashi says, even haro, partial, either part, whatever haro is. We had a machlok tanoim. Is it partial penetration? Doesn't have to be the full act of bia. If it was enough, even for the most minimal act to be considered bia, that's enough. Asur lebeso, she's not permitted to husband. Asur lechel betruma, if she's nesis kohen, she's not permitted truma. In mess, and if you should die childless, choletz lo b'siyabemis, because it's not a chorus, and he says bezdin. So therefore, this chalitza, there's no yibum, because just as he wasn't permitted to be with her, so the yavam cannot be with her. Okay, so chalitz not yibum. Okay, now we have there. Rabbi Yudan Nossi, he set up the order of the Masechtas, right? What do we have? We have Nedorim, Nazir, Sotah. Now, why does one follow the other? What does Sotah have to do with Nazir? With Nazir, right? So why does it in this particular order? So Mar asks, Michli, Tana mi Nazir Solik. The Tana here in Sotah, what are we coming off? We're coming off the previous Nazir. What? Why? My Tana, the Kotana, Sotah. Why does he learn Sotah after Nazir? What's the relevance of Sotah after Nazir? Kid Rebbe, the Tanya Rebbe Omer, Loman Iskut parshas Nazir, parshas Sotah. We find the Torah in parshas Nazir first has parshas Nazir, parshas Sotah, then parshas Nazir. First the Torah speaks about the suspected adulteress, then it speaks about all the laws pertaining to the Nazir. What relevance one have to another? If a person sees a Sotah, so Rashi says in her, not when she dies, in her disheveled state where she's disgraced because of her inappropriate behavior, and what brought to that? What caused her to be suspected? Because she had the social drink, right? The wine. So therefore, a person should yazir. You make yourself a nazir. You make yourself yazir. Yazir. It's not just be careful. So, Mar, it's a question. So, what's the order? The order is what? Wine, right? What's the order? You see a sotah, make yourself a nazir. So, what should precede what? Sotah should come before Mesechus Nazir. And Rabbi Yudan Nossi set it up that sotah follows nazir. But if it's based on what Rebbe says, it should be the other way. It should be sotah nazir. V'lisni sotah b'hodel lisni nazir, according to the order of the psukim of the parshas in the Torah. So Mar says like this: I did tana ksubis. We have ksubis before what? Before nedorim. What is it? What do we have? A parak ksubis is called hamadir. What makes a neder? When it is a neder? What is it not a neder? What neder could the husband? Different things pertain to that. V'tana hamadir, v'tana hamadir. And in ksubis there's a chapter, 7 chapters called hamadir. Okay. A man makes a neder, his wife can't have relations with him. Whatever, she's off limits to him. All these different laws. So Tonan Dorim. So what is in Dorim follows Subas? Because in Subas, the Perik, we have a Madir. Okay? Vaidu Tonan Nedorim. So once I have Nedorim, Tonan Nazir, the Dom Nedorim. Because how does one become a Nazir? It's a neder. Hareini Nazir, I'm a Nazir. Okay? Uktani Sotah, Kid Rebbe. So Nedorim is because of what? Because of the Ksubas. And Nazir, how does one become a Nazir? Similar to Nedorim. So therefore, as well, that's the reason why it's not the order of the Torah, where Sotah precedes Nazir. Okay? The Mishnah seems to be saying, it says, if it's the right thing for a person to forewarn his wife, it should say, Mekani Odom Liishto. Person forewarns his wife. It doesn't say that. It says, Ha-Mekani. If one had forewarned the wife, what is the connotation of had? B'di'evet. B'di'evet. L'chatchil, it's something you should not do. Right? Ha-Mekane di'evet ein l'chatchil lo. The Tana's position is it's something which should be discouraged. You should not forewarn your wife. Ksovatani didan. Oslakano. So Rashi says why? So Rashi says two things. Firstly, because it creates a strain in their relationship. You know what I mean? Tell the worst wife, if you say to woman's not, she speaks, say to you, know, behave yourself. But you already give an order, don't, and you're dictating, this already is the beginning and the end of the relationship. You're already dictating, it's a strain of relationship. Therefore, it's oslakanos. Rest is two things. Where is it? Rashi, 1 second. Shemevi yatzl de tagor, vesish le nivu. And ultimately, if his wife defies him, she's going to be what? She's going to be disheveled. They undo her hair. They put a rope around her clothing. So her flesh shouldn't be seen. Many things. It leads to not good things. Omer Rav Shmuel Yitzchok. I mean, you want to divorce her, divorce her. You don't like the way she's divorced her, get rid of her. But this kind of thing, it's not a good thing. We'll see the Gemara. We'll see the Gemara. Omer Rav Shmuel Rav Yitzchok. Ki avi posach Rish Lakish b'Sotah. Rish Lakish would start lecturing on the portion of Sotah. Omahochi. A mezavgul le'odom isha lefi maso. You hear this? HaKadosh Baruch Hu provides one's mate based on your worthiness, spiritual worthiness. You're more worthy, you get a better wife. You're less worthy, you get the other kind of wife. It's lefi maso. We'll see. The Gemara explains. A mezavgul le'odom isha lefi maso. Nemar ki lo yinuach shevet harosha al goril tzadikim. Hashem's not going to allow the rod of the Rosha to be in the lot of tzaddikim. Hashem's not going to throw you that curveball. If you're a tzaddik, I mean, you get what you deserve, right? You're a tzaddik, you get a better wife. It's lefi masov. Your zivug is lefi masov. So Rashi says, okay, lo yizdavig memshelis Rosha begor la tzaddik. Okay, so that's the first thing he would say. Omer Rabbi Chana, Omer Rabbi Yochanan, Koshin. Rabbi Chana says Rabbi Yochanan. Koshin, everybody speaks of Shem Brachos. It has no relevance to Shem Brachos. We'll see in a moment. The Koshin zivuk lezavkan kriyas yamsuf. You hear this? A zivuk to put two people together. It's like the splitting of the sea. It's like kriyas yamsuf. Shenemar Elokim Moshe Yichidim Beiso Motzi Asim Bekoshoros. Hashem establishes individuals to create a house. Motzi Asir B'Koshoros, it's like taking captives, Asir, people in prison, B'Koshoros, out of their shackles. Merzini? Merzis, how can you say that? What? V'omer of Yudam Arav, Arbom Yom Kodem Yitzir Savlad, Baskol Yotzeis, 40 days before the child is conceived, there's a Baskol that comes out of Sinai. V'omeres Bas Ploni LePloni, the daughter of such and so is destined to such and such. This 40 days before the conception of the male. Base Ploni LePloni. The house of so-and-so is going to go to so-and-so. So de ploni leploni. So you see over here, it has nothing to do with Fimasov. It's predestined, infinite. The man hasn't even come into existence yet. The person hasn't even been conceived to come into existence. So how could he tell me it's Lefimasov? Right? Lukash ha bezuk rishon ha bezuk sheni. If it's zivud rishon, if the person was never married, right? Neither were married. So we'll see Tosas in a minute. Then it's predestined, whoever you're supposed to marry. It's the second time around. Well, who does Hashem match up people with? Really, this is not really your real zivug. This woman is not your real zivug. This man is not your real zivug. So how does Hashem pair it up now? It has to fit. So what's the fit? You're more worthy, you get a better wife. Person's less worthy, you get the other kind of wife. So the kosher zivug Kriyas Yamsuf is going zivug sheni. It's the second time around. It's not the first time around. It's the Fimasov. They say you got what you deserve. That's what you tell a person. He got what he deserves. So over here, there's a Rashi. What does it mean? Bikoshoros. He says Moshe b'chid because Odom Yochid v'Isha Yechido. You have two individuals. V'mezavkam Yachrim Miyashiv B'hem Bayis. Takes two individuals, puts them together, they create a household. Motzi Asim B'Koshoros. Hotzi Es Yisro Mitzrayim. B'Chodesh Kosher. Hashem took us out of Egypt when Chodesh Aviv in the spring. Didn't take us out in the winter. Didn't take us out when it was scorching hot. Lochama Lotzino Mikayim make Makish Zibug Lichidim Litzis Mitzrayim. Morris asked the question. It says, what is the meaning? So there's Rashi and Shiratos. Ini miyavi zibug lefi resha uschus v'mikoidem yitziras sheinoda risho v'zivugo machrizin as zivugo. Right? It's already announced from Sinai 40 days before conception. So Rashi has a question. Interesting question. Vim tomar hakol godel lefonov. But Hashem knows. What do you mean, Hashem? The person has to live good, so Hashem is pairing you up for the future. For the tzaddik and the Rosha. He says, Hakobi de Shemaim chutz mir Shamayim. The Omer b'seches Nida. Right? He quotes the Mar Nida. It says, before conception, Hashem, the Malach comes with a droplet of semen, and Hashem pronounces on the semen everything which has to do with that person's life. What's the predicament of this tipa, of this? Gibor o cholosh chochem o tipish osher o oni. All these pronouncements are made. Avol tzadik rosha lo komalei. But tzadik rosha Hashem doesn't say whether the child's going to be a tzadik person, be a tzadik rosha. Why? Because this hakol b'dei shemayim chutz b'Yerushalayim. One spiritual standing, that's bechira. That's not predestined. Zug rushel fi amazo zug shein lefi masa. Because zavkon fi shein bazuga. Why is it so difficult? Because they don't what? It's not a fit. It's not a natural fit. If they were never married, that was predestined. That's a natural fit. Okay? So Via Tosa says, there you go. Kodim Tzisa Vlad. Now the question is, let's say the girl hasn't been born yet. The woman who you're destined to marry, it's 10 years down the line. Do they make the pronouncement Ben Ploni, Labas Ploni? The answer is yes. Whether she was born already, whether she was not born already, the pronouncement is made. Right? She's not going to be born for 20 years. The pronouncement is made. Ben Bas Ploni, Le Ploni. 40 days before the conception of the male. It's made. Okay? Now, what's Zug Rishon, what's Zug Sheni? Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. What's Zug Rishon? What about a single man was never married, and the woman was married? Tosa says that's called Zug Rishon. That's Zivug Rishon. It's only if they both married before, so that each one had their mate. So now it's the second time around for both of them. But if one was never married, so for him that's called Zivug Rishon. So that's not Lifi Maso. That's not based on his spiritual standing. Says that. Okay, let's go further. Now you got to pay attention on Medbei's level with the psukim. Okay, Reb Lezer says everybody agrees for kinui you need 2 edim, right? They're arguing additional to kinui for the forewarning, for the sequestering. Do you need 2 or not? That's machlokes Reb Lezer Yeshua. Reb Lezer mekanu la pishnayim atkan lo pligi elo bekinui ustira. Right? Everybody agrees. They're arguing Kinu's 2, what do you need for stira? But let's say you have a single witness after Kinu stira says, I saw they committed adultery. Although a single witness is not believed, in this situation he would believe. And therefore, she was not going to drink the water. You're not going to obliterate the Megillah Sotah, the Rid of the Sotah. Ubetuma eid echad mahemin, utenan nami, eid echad me ani risi shenitmeis. Here, Lo Yisa Shosef. Eid echad says, I saw she committed adultery behind closed doors. She's not eligible any longer for drinking the water. Because the whole thing's to verify what happened. If you have an Eid echad sufficient. Midoraisa Minola, where do we see it in the Torah? The Torah said, because normally the Gemara is going to say, we say, Al Pishna Eid Dov Shemer V'Chos Mishnayim. Minola, the Mehemin, Echot, the Toner Rabbanon. Now, it says a woman goes and she commits adultery, and it says she was not raped. He lo nitfoso, she wasn't grabbed. It says the aid ain bo. And there was no aid. There was no witness. So what does aid mean? Aid literally means single. It's singular. Aidim are two. Aid is single. Does it mean aid means there were no witnesses? Period. Or aid means even though it's singular, it means there were no witnesses. There were no two witnesses. A single witness, yes. Two witnesses, yes. Yeah? Two witnesses, not. One witness, yes. If you read it literally, what does aid bo mean? There were no witness. There was not even a single witness. But the Gemara is going to say it can't be. So what does aid bo mean? It's going to show that whenever the Torah writes aid without telling you how many, it always means two. It means two. Aid always means two. Unless the Torah tells you it means one. So when it says over there, she wasn't raped, and there's no aid, what does it mean? There are no two witnesses. Right. But there's a single witness. So from there I see that even a single witness is believed after Kinu Stira that she committed adultery. The Gemara is going to explain this. Tanra about it. Eid bo, b'shnayim akosim medaber. When it's eid bo means you don't have two witnesses. Or maybe it means literally what it says. There is no witness in the singular. There are no witnesses, not even a single witness. Talmud Lomar. You hear this? What happens if a single witness once comes and says, Ruvain damaged Shimon's property? Right? Or Ruvain's, whatever it is, a single witness. What's the halacha? It's not believed. Why is it not believed? Because it's Lo yokum eid echod l'chol oven l'chol chatos. Right? Lo yokum eid echod. What is if aid in the singular grammatically is one? What does that say? Echod. It says lo yokum eid echod. Right? Say lo yokum eid. So you see clearly that if the Torah wouldn't have written echod, what would aid mean? It would mean two. Because if it means one, what the word echod is superfluous. So from here we learn that unless the Torah tells you the number, what does aid mean? Aid means two. So when the Torah says by Sotah, she was not raped, and there is no aid. What does that mean? There's no aid. There's no two aid, but there's a single witness. Okay? Talmud lo yokum eid echod bi'ish mimash b'shinema lo yokum aid bi'ish. Right? It says an aid should not testify against an ish. Eni yodea shu echod. Aid literally means one. So I know it's one. So matom lo be'echod. So what does it say? Lo yokum eid echod. Right? The word echod is totally superfluous. Elo Talmud lo me'echod. But it says echod. Bon av kol mokshin emer eid harikin shnayim. From here I draw from this that unless the Torah goes and qualify what the word aid means, what does aid mean? It means two. So therefore, I had to learn because otherwise the echod is totally unnecessary. Okay? So therefore, so now we get back to Sotah. You had kinu stira, and then it says what? The aid ain bo. And there is no aid. What does it mean? And there is no aid. It means two. And it says she's what? She's forbidden to the husband. I mean, she doesn't drink the mei Sotah. That's how I know that if there's neid echod, you believe the eid echod after kinu stira. Okay? It's clear. Okay, further. Harei kan shnayim ad sheyifrod lo chakosav echod v'omer achmono. And what's the Torah saying now by Sotah? Trei lesbo. When it says eid ein bo, what does it mean? You don't have two. El echad, you have one. And what does it say? V'lo nitfoso. She was not forced upon. She was not raped. Asura. So that's the reason why she's asura. So you see that what? That an echod could confirm that she should be asura. El time ilchsiv. Tomorrow says. El time ilchsiv lo yokum eid echod bi'ish. So what are you telling me now? The reason why I know eid echod means what? Aid means two is from here. El the time it receive lo yokum aid echodish halafochi avamino aid sota charu. Right? I would say, if not for this word lo yokum aid echod, when the Torah says aid baitza, what does aid mean? It means one single witness. So we got a problem. Because the person, what do we need that to tell me over here? Aid means one and not two, means two and not one. There's no other way to understand it. We're prohibiting her to her husband, that she's not eligible for the drinking of the water. But if it says aid ainbo, you have no witnesses. So why is she forbidden? Let her drink the water to determine what she was. So just from the actual subject matter, which we're talking about over here, it's clear aid means two, right? It can't mean nothing that you don't even have the single witness. If you have, then you have nothing. So what does aid ainbo mean? It must mean two, right? Because you have to have something to go on. That's the first question. El time because liokom eid echod biish holafochi. But if not for that, what have I said by the Sotah? Havamina eid the Sotah charu. Viafilu chad leko. And if you're going to tell me by the Sotah, you don't even have the single witness. You have nothing. El b'may mitzvah. So why is she forbidden? We're saying eid ainbo. That's why it's etched in stone. She's forbidden. Why is she forbidden? You have no witness. So evidently, what does it mean? And evidently, aid means two. So what do I need echod to tell me it means two? You following the question? David, I see you a little off. Okay, again. Moses had it when it says by the Sotah that she's not eligible to drink the water after keeping still, because it says aid ainbo. What does aid ainbo mean? Since it says also lo yokom aid echod. If aid always means one, what does that say echod? So evidently, aid means two. So when it says over aid ainbo by Sotah, what does aid ainbo mean? It means you don't have two, but you have one. So from here we see that a single witness is believed she committed adultery, although you don't have two witnesses. So the Gemara asks, let's say I don't have echod written over there. And normally whatever aid means, we don't know, but it says over here. Why is she not eligible to drink the water? Because aid ainbo. Aid ain't, so if aid means you don't even have the single witness, so why is she forbidden? Why is she forbidden to her husband? So that it's clear from the context of the discussion that what does aid mean? Aid means two, without the word echod somewhere else. There's no way to understand the parsha any other way. Right? So what do I need echod to tell me this, that this means two? From the reading itself, it has to mean two. Right? Tzemar says, Itzrich. Solka dait chamin eid bo ein nemon bo. Which means, eid bo means that a husband's not believed to say anything. Husband comes and says, she was this, she was that, eid bo. Eid bo ein nemon. Unless you have testimony, you're not believed. The word aid doesn't mean one, two, means testimony. You have to have testimony. Enamo, Ella, my boy. So how many do you need to establish her that she's an adulteress? Right? Adika trey. You have to have two. Simmer says, Lishtikra, right? That's a double poshik. What do I have to tell me the reason why she would be permitted? She would be forbidden. You need two witnesses. Adis means you need testimony. That's what it says. So the Torah has to tell me that. Let's say the Torah would say nothing. And we want to take a woman who's normally permitted to husband to establish her as a Sotah. I know they have to have two witnesses. That's the regular principle. It says by monetary laws, Al Pi Shnai made him Yokum Dover. It says you want to establish fact, by monetary you have to have two witnesses. And it says, Kimotz Be'eras Dover, regarding a woman committing adultery. It says, so we learn Xer Shova Dover Dover Mimomon, you have to have two. So even if the Torah wouldn't say a word about aid, it's understood. You want to make her a Sotah, you have to have two witnesses. So the whole discussion, aid ain't, it's totally superfluous. Torah doesn't have to discuss it. You know, if you want to be a Sotah, you have to have two witnesses. What else do you tell me? Tell me something. No, this is known. This is the Xer Shova Dover Dover Mimomon, and Dover Sheber Post Mishnayim. Right? Elamai boy adika trey lishta kromi. Let the Torah say nothing by Sotah. Ta'asya Dover Dover Mimomon. I have the Xer Shova. Vana Yodana Midi Davi Mida Akola Rai Edu Shabbatorah. regarding all testimony in Torah, what is testimony? Two witnesses. It's true. I need it here. Why? So gedai de chamino, so to shiny. The I'm the dover. Because over here you have circumstantial evidence. Shrekina law, Vinisra. Right? Over here he forewarned her. She defied his warning. Right? L'semin bo eid echod. Right? So that's the reason why a single witness should be believed. Should be believed. Right? That's what you may think. You may think a single witness should be believed. Therefore, Torah says, eid ein bo. No. That unless you have testimony, she's permitted. Someone says, Amrit ein emon bo. V'sharyo. Habit ksib hilo nitfoso. But we're saying, we're establishing fact, she was not raped. How do you know? If we're saying a single witness is not believed, and you're saying she wasn't raped, how do we'd have no idea what went on behind closed doors. Right? We're saying now, the reason why I'm saying there's no testimony, because I think this would be the exception. And maybe you should believe even a single witness. The answer is you don't believe a single witness, even though you have circumstantial evidence. So he says, if you don't believe the single witnesses, what does it mean? Hilo nitfoso. It was a rape. It wasn't a rape. It was consensual. How do you know it was consensual? How do you know anything ever happened? It was behind closed doors. The Torah says, "V'hilo nitfosa." She was not grabbed. She wasn't forced. Mechlal dasura. So evidently, we know she wasn't raped. It's true. So that the chamino einembo adikatrei ubetrei nami hilo nitfosa. Maybe you'd have to have two. There are no witnesses that she was raped. Hilo nitfosa. There's no witnesses that she was consented. Right? Betrayed nami he lo nitfosa kamash malon. What's the kamash malon? 1 second. What's the kamash malon? No, that a single witness. A single witness is one is enough. Therefore, you need echod, eid echod. It's only when the Torah tells you aid means one when it tells you, other means two. So when it says eid ein bo, what does eid ein bo mean? You don't have two, but what do you have one? And factually, why do you believe him? The answer, because regalayim l'dover. Right? Because you have circumstantial evidence, because it's after kini and stiro. Okay. Now we have a machlokas. Everybody agrees that for kinu you have to have two witnesses for the forewarning. What about for the seclusion? Rebbe Lezer says one is enough, or even the man says, or his own say so. Rebbe Shua says no, as you have two on the kinoi, you have to have two on the stira. Correct? Rebbe Shua me mekanu lo api shnayim. My time, Rebbe Shua. What does Rebbe Shua say? What does Rebbe Shua say? You have to have two in addition to the kin. You have to have two on the stira. Omakro. It says aid ein bo. Right? It says right. What does it say? Aid echonemet lokinu rega betumakoy vi nitmo ve'aid ein bo. Right? She was contaminated. Aid ein bo. Right? It says bo. Right? Rega. Yeah. Bo v'lo bekinui. Meaning, for the actual act of adultery, a single witness is enough. Ba v'lo bekinui. Bekinui you have to have two. Ba, right? Ba v'lo bestira. Where is one sufficient? Only for what? After kini and stira. Did anything happen behind closed doors? But anything other than that, that's an exclusion. For this, one is enough. Anything that precedes this moment, you have to have two on each juncture. Two on kino and two on stira. The was an exclusion. It's an exclusion. No, because it's here. Only here, one's believed. Anywhere else, and everybody was you need kino and stira. Evidently, therefore you need two on each. There's no warning. There's no warning. They're testifying to fact. They're not intervening anything. The witness is a man forewarning his wife. The witness, she divided, she went into seclusion.
So it's one witness believed that he says, I heard a warning.
No, it's not believed. Everybody agrees he's not believed.
Okay, so there's no question about that at this point. It has to be
Not at this point, at any point.
Okay.
What happens if you have sesame seeds spread over Dalet Amos? Is it Yush? Is not Yush? It has no relevance to the question. Well, why should you say it?
We just went through all this.
Nobody ever said for Kinyan Stira you need to finished. Until now, we're talking about after the Kinyan Stira. A single witness says, "I know they committed adultery behind closed doors."
Okay, so they won't challenge that anymore. This is fact.
That's nobody argues that. That is fact.
Thank you.
Now we're talking about the machlokes Rabbi Lezer and Reb Shua says you have to have two on the Kinyan, two on the Stira.
Right.
Of course, why? Because it says, when is a single witness believed for the act of adultery?
That he's not
Post
Right.
post Stira.
Right.
But this, nothing else. So what does nothing else mean? Anything preceded needs two.
Right. Thank you.
Okay? So Reb Lezer. So what Reb Lezer? What he says? No, only for the kino you need two, not for the stira. Right, Reb Lezer. For the forewarning, it has to be witnessed by two. But for going into seclusion, one witness or even his say so is enough. Right? Reb Lezer Omer. Ba v'lo b'kinoi. Ba is going to exclude kinoi. Somewhere has Vayeira ba v'lo b'stira. I mean, why is he favoring? Ba, he says it's only to exclude one, not both. Ema ba v'lo b'stira. Somewhere has Vayeira ba v'lo b'stira. He says, you know why stira is l'tuma? Because we find the Torah associates the sequestering with the actual act of adultery itself. T'chsiv, it says v'nistra v'hinit mo. We said if she actually commits adultery, we said a single witness is enough. So just as for the act of adultery, a single witness is enough. Identically for the stira, a single witness is enough. A single witness or himself, it's enough. Right? That's the basis for Rebbe Lezer. Because the Torah associates stira with tumah. Tumah, everybody agrees. How many witnesses do you need? Howard. For tumah, for the act of adultery, how many witnesses do you need? One. The act of adultery after kinyan stira. One, okay? So, and the Torah says, v'nistra v'hinit mo. Stira is like v'nit mo.
So it should be one again.
That's Rebbe Lezer. There's an exclusion here, one, and not somewhere else, one. So what is that going on? It's going on the kinui. For kinui, you need two. Kinui is the full warning. I don't want you to go with that man. Okay? Steerist, yeah, from Seser. Okay? Nothing. I want you to stay. It's not because the man is a dishonest man. It's because they were flirting. I don't want you speaking to the man. It's clear. What? That's all. That's enough. No, nothing. No, nothing. No act was done. Nothing. Okay. So someone asks. Once he's saying because of the association to Tumah, even the what? The forewarning is also associated with Tumah. Why? He forewarned her and she committed adultery. She disregarded his forewarning. So just as he's telling me, Stira doesn't need two, so what does Kidu need two? Somewhere it says, because the answer is because I have an exclusion. So I have a question. So therefore, it must be going on kinui. Somewhere asks, Maroyas, what do you favor? There isn't so, but the question is, which one is it the same or which one is the exclusion? So he asks him, so why are you favoring kinui? Kinui is excluded, but stira is like tuma. Why? Maroyas, mistavro, stira difo. Because stira already is beyond; it's more advanced. Meaning, because you don't need two. Why? When does she become a sota? When we don't know what happened. After stira. So we see there's a commonality between stira and tuma. Adraba, kini odif. I'll tell you, kinu has something over stira. Goramlo. Ilav stira, kini mi. Stop. She came ikar garma. If there wouldn't be kinui, does the stira mean anything? If a woman goes and excludes herself with another man, she's permitted to husband. So what was the cause of her becoming a sota? Because it was predicated on kinui. That's what kinui needs to. That's what kinui needs to. No, for just the opposite. So if that's kinui should need one. Someone says, no, he loves stira kinui meiko. He says if she doesn't ultimately sequester herself, what does the forewarning mean? It means nothing. Vi lav kinui, stira mayahani. And if he's not forewarned, right? So each one, how do you know which one has greater value? Because each one is a necessity. Afiloch estira difa, that's chalta tumi. And say one, they committed adultery. Did they commit adultery in an open setting or in the secluded setting? So therefore, because the adultery takes place in the secluded location, therefore we equate that to tuma. So when we have the miut, it's going back on kinui. Yeah? No, on kinui. For two, therefore you need two. That's Reb Lezer. For kinui you need two. Because where do you commit adultery? Bistira. In the secluded location. Okay? But both Reb Lezer and Shua both agree, but kinui needs two. They're only arguing, does stira need two? Okay? Masis lo ki Tana. But we found that Tana argues with both Reb Lezer and Reb Yeshua. The Tanya, Reb Yossi, Reb Yehuda, Omer. Hear this. Reb Yossi, Yehuda, Omer, Mishum, Reb Lezer. Hamakani liishto makana piyerech or piyatzmo. Hear this? For kinui, you don't need to have two witnesses. A man comes and says, I forewarned my wife. That's all he says, and she went into seclusion. That's enough for her to become a sota. He's a Tana. This is Reb Yossi. That's he's saying. Our Tana is citing Reb Lezer in one way, and Reb Yossi, Reb Yehuda, who's a Tana, is citing Reb Lezer differently. That's what he says. Masis lo ki Tana. Our Mishnah's version of Reb Lezer is different than this brisa. The Tanya, Reb Yossi, Reb Yehuda, Omer, Mishum Reb Lezer, Hamakan liishto, Makana piyerech or piyatzmo. Umashka pishnayim. For what? For stiro, you have to have two. You're okay, Howard?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Chachom, so the Gemara says, Hishiva Chamon the Reb Yossi, Reb Yehuda, Ein Ludav V'Sof. The Gemara will explain what that means. He said, if that's the case, there's no end to it. How do you trust a man? A man comes to Besdin. I warned my wife. Do we know whether he warned the wife? Whenever he wants to get her into trouble, I warned her. If it's already predicated on what? You have, let's say, forewarned her in presence of two. Okay. Now, she went in. So there was something cooking over here. There were an undercurrent of their problems in terms of the behavior. And that's why he forewarned her. But over here, we know nothing. All of a sudden he says, by the way, she secluded herself. And before that seclusion, I gave her a warning. Do we know we gave her a warning? He could always destroy her life. My time, Rabbi Yosef Yehuda. What does Rabbi Yosef Yehuda say? That kinui doesn't need it. Two edim. Omakro bo. It says edim bo. Bo v'lo b'stira. Bo comes to exclude stira. Stira exclusion needs two. Somewhere else, edim bo v'lo b'kinui. So he says same type of kinui is lishim tov, because we find there's an association with kinui and adultery. V'chsiv v'kinias tishto v'init mo. Somewhere says stira nami. Iskish l'tumah. Right? Stira is also associated with tumah. Why? D'chsiv v'nistra v'nit mo. He says, now he says something about, he says better over here than we see before. He says, ahi l'kama shiur stira. How long does she have to seclude herself to be considered a question of adultery? Kedei tumah. V'nistra v'nit mo. Not that doesn't mean the Torah says v'nistra v'nit mo. As tumah is one, stira is one. How long does she have to seclude herself that we should suspect she committed adultery? Has to be long enough that the act could have been done. They go behind closed doors for 1 minute. Nothing could have had 1 minute. She defied his warning, it's irrelevant. That's not enough to make her off limits to the husband. Said, V'nistra, what's the shear of V'nistra? V'nit mo. Whatever it takes, okay? Hu l'kama shear stira, k'dei tumahu. Who does it? Shiva Chacham, the Rabbi Yossi, Ein Ludav V'Sof. So the Chacham said, Rabbi Yossi, according to you, Ein Ludav V'Sof. My new. What does it mean, Ein Ludav V'Sof? Zimnin Lokoni. the times the husband really didn't forewarn her. Okay? Voma kanoik. He says, I did forewarn her. He says, whatever it is, he wants to mess up her life. Somewhere says, hold him, so and our mission is any better. Zimnin Loistatu, you know what happens? He forewarned her. He was upset with her. I don't want you hanging around this guy. And then afterwards, he wants to really put the axe into her. She secluded herself. How do we know? It's on his say-so. It's what? It's something which is it's not controllable, right? Right. Zimdul we start there. Vom is start there. Rav Nachman Yitzchak Rav Yochanan. After the Rav Yossi, Rav Yehuda means af. Af means not only according to our version of Rav Lez, even Rav Yossi in Dovasof. Af the Rav Yossi Yehuda. V'lo mi boilim Mishnah saying, right? Our Mishnah, everything's in place where he just has to pull the trigger. Yeah, he has to pull the trigger.
Okay.
See, the other is not so simple, right? Because factually she has to seclude herself. Our Mishnah is much more easy to destroy her, right? The trigger, the trigger already is what? It's set. You forewarn your wife, right? And you have a right. In the present too. Her secluding herself, that's normally, if you see any two witnesses, she has to make that move. If she doesn't make the move, he can't do anything. Well, let's say it's based on his say-so. He pulls the trigger whenever he wants. In the case of the Brisa, it's not so simple. Because we're saying for seclusion, you need two witnesses. So let's say you never bring two witnesses. You could rant and rave from today forever. She's still permitted to you. So Lomi boy, the Mishnah is saying, no, definitely ain't Ludovasov. The husband is what? Is a loose cannon. The Brisa, she could have problems, but not the same problems like our version in the Mishnah. No, not that you have to protect. It's not you have to protect, not you have to protect.
You can't go on somebody who's angry like that. She could never defend herself.
He's saying Reb Lez's position is a position which is a dangerous position.
Yeah.
But the version of our Tana is even more dangerous than the Bryce's version of Reb Lezer. Right. Right. So that's dependent on her. She has to go seclude herself. Right. Our Mishnah, you could set her up, forewarn her, and then afterwards you could do whatever you want. You say she secluded herself. Yeah. Right. Okay. Good. Lo Moshe Shmein Adra B'Sheinu Biker Iko Hasam Leki Iker Eli Idmar Hochi Idmar Amri Yosef Amri Yoch Rabbi Yosef Afnim Shmeinu Elu Davasof Amra B'Chinim Mesura Lo Leimo Inish It's to say Bisman Hazeh today we have no Beis Hamikdash, so today you can't give the water to drink, right? To verify. So he says, according to Rabbi Yosef Yehuda, person has to be careful what he says. Get angry with your wife, you make a statement. Lo Leimer Inish, excuse me. Lo list rega lo leme inish litze bisman azel listri badi ploni. You should never say to your wife, don't seclude yourself with so and so. According right for Rabbi Yosef's verse of Rabbi Lezer, he says in front, I don't want you going behind closed doors with so and so. Okay, why? Because dilma kaima Rabbi Yosef Yehuda. Because because maybe we were like Rabbi Yosef Yehuda, the Kinu al Piatzmo, Kinui. We believe him, umistatro, and what? And he already forewarned her, right? And stira, and then she goes and she clues herself afterwards, and the witness is on it. V'lekwa idno, meisota lemivdako, and you have the meisota to verify what happened. Kosalelu yisur olam. So she cooked a goose. She cooked a goose. See, if you have to have two witnesses, it's based on what? Two witnesses. You have two witnesses for this and two witnesses for that. So that's all confirmed. I mean, even according to us, you should do it, right? What does he have to say according to Rabbi Yosef Yehuda? Let's see, like Rabbi Yeshua. You have to have two witnesses on the kid, two witnesses on the stira. I understand, but what happens if you say such a thing to your wife in presence of witnesses, and then she's upset with you? She says, I'm going to, out of spite, I'll do it. And nothing really happens. She's finished. There's no going back after that. I know, but she'll do it b'davka in front of Adam. So a woman could do it b'davka. Omer Shlokish Malosh in Kinoi. What is the meaning of Kinoi? Right? Kinoi we say Hasra. Kinoi comes from Kino. What does Kino mean? It means there's jealousy, a strife. There's strife here. Okay? Dover Matal Kino Bein Bein Achirim. Something which creates a strain on the relationship. Has he explained that?
Yes. Jealousy, anger, something.
No, Bein Lachirim. It causes something which strains the relationship.
Yeah.
Almoksov Kino Api Atzmo. Right? The Kule Amli Yadi Konile. Okay, we'll stop here.